10 to 12 agriculture courses at a high school, and I decided to get my students to grow cucumbers in a controlled environment with an LED light from HydroGrow. The light that I chose for our cucumber grow was HydroGrow's Penetrator 84X Pro. The light easily covers a 2x2 area and exceeds a 400 watt metal halide or high pressure sodium lamp. The 84X Pro uses 84 3-watt super high output LEDs that have a projected life of 12 years. It uses around 130 watts of power and contains a patented 6-band spectrum. By day 15, the cucumber plant had very large leaves and it amazingly started to flower. The type of cucumber plant that I chose was a variety called Piccolino. It produces all-female flowers and does not require pollination, which makes it ideal for growing indoors or in a greenhouse environment. On day 25, I had to remove some of the leaves due to powdery mildew. Even with powdery mildew, the plant was showing tremendous growth, and I was amazed at how many flowers it produced in such a short time. On day 30, there were no signs of powdery mildew, and many new leaves grew in place of the ones that I had to remove. The vines were looking very healthy, and some of the cucumbers were starting to grow. The Penetrator 84X Pro was living up to its name as it was able to penetrate much of the canopy and induce many flowers and buds. The vines were literally loaded with flowers and new buds all in 25 days from transplanting. Once the cucumbers take, they grow at a tremendous rate and will be ready for picking within 7 to 10 days. On day 35, we had our first harvest, and one of my students ended up picking 8 cucumbers off of the vines. Day 80 was our last harvest, as the cucumber plant had lived out its life. In total, it produced 191 cucumbers that both my students and I enjoyed eating fresh off of the vine. We also sold a lot of the extra cucumbers to the staff of our school, and we ended up raising $125 in funds that we used to keep supporting our indoor garden. I was simply amazed at how well HydroGrow's 84X Pro with a power draw of 130 watts was able to produce 191 cucumbers in an area that was slightly larger than 4 square feet. The cost of HydroGrow's Penetrator 84X Pro was $649 with a 3-year warranty. There was so much demand for our cucumbers that I had to start making lists of people who prepaid to ensure that they would get the next picking. If we would have sold all 191 cucumbers, we would have been able to sell 63 bags at $5 each, which would have raised $315 in 80 days. This is almost half of what the light costs. The light can be paid for within 2 cucumber grows, and every grow after that for the next 11.5 years could be a great fundraising source for a school, community association, a nonprofit, or even an individual. A good indicator of a healthy plant that gives high yields is its root system. After 80 days of growth, the root system of the cucumber was the healthiest root system that I've ever seen. They were very white and silky. I attribute this to HydroGrow's Penetrator, as it barely produces any heat, and this helped to keep my reservoir temperature down, which in turn allowed a lot of oxygen to be carried to the root system. The spectrum of HydroGrow's light also had a tremendous impact on the plant's health and heavy yields of buds, flowers, and cucumbers. After seeing how many cucumbers the Penetrator produced, I'm looking forward to purchasing more lights from HydroGrow for my classroom.